Hello guys and gals, it's Soulfax here and you're watching another War Thunder video, and this is actually me playing. And just a cautionary note, if there's any children watching, please avert your eyes because what you will see might scar you for life and might possibly cause some serious brain damage. So I'm playing in the realistic battle of the 8th day of the World War II series event, and I've finally gotten this Tiger II that I was chasing on the flank, and I started putting shots into him and he turns around, he actually fires back, and I managed to bounce a shot. So that is my first degree of luck in this engagement. I do get a penetrating shot, but everything that I do after that first penetrating shot was completely and utterly horrible. I just kept spamming shots after shot in the same place and not doing anything. And the Tiger was just like, yeah, okay, give me time to actually get my driver to my gunner spot so I can shoot you back. And sometimes this is just not my day. This was apparently just not my day because everything I did in that engagement after the first shot was completely horrible. So I stop, I switch to AP, put another shot into him, and I see, oh my god, he's got his gunner up. And he turns around and boop. Yep, that's what happens when you fail to kill a Tiger 1 from the side, from a few hundred meters, in 10 shots. Now, since I was sucking so hard, I thought to myself, okay, let me suck in a vehicle that I can actually work on, that I actually care about. So I switched over to this. The ever so gloriously slow Her Majesty's first land ship in War Thunder, the Churchill Mk.III. So I said that while I'm sucking, I would rather suck in a tank that I actually like to play, but that's not the case for this tank. I do kind of like the Churchill Mk.III, but I mostly don't like it because of a few reasons. Now, firstly, even though this tank has decent armor, it's got 89 at the front, 70 something, the sides are good. The sides are good and the front is good. And if you angle the hull of this tank while keeping the turret pointed at the enemy, you can even angle the turret. But if you angle the hull correctly, it's going to be very hard for them to actually penetrate your hull because of the reason is that the amount of hull armor, the frontal hull armor that you will be exposing if you angle correctly is going to be very minimal, and secondly, most of the shots will go in your tracks, especially at a distance. Now, the reasons why I don't like this tank outweigh the reasons why I like this tank. So firstly, the cannon is absolute shit. What you're gonna see in this video is not how this cannon usually performs. The cannon is actually shit. The first thing that I did is I unlocked all the ammo on this tank. I even unlocked the second ammo on this tank before I unlocked the FPA, the fire prevention equipment, fire protection equipment, whatever you want to call it. Because this cannon is so fucking bad. The long range accuracy of this cannon is so horrible that I had a game, a simulator battle match on this map, where I was around 500 meters away, well, maybe a little bit, around a kilometer away from 2 Panzer IV Gs that were firing at me, that couldn't penetrate me, and I couldn't hit him. I couldn't freaking hit them because the shots were going all over the place. And now that's one reason. The second reason why I hate this tank is because it's so freaking slow. It takes you ages to get anywhere, and it's really not worth it playing in simulator battles on maps like this, where the simulator version of the Tunisia map is freaking huge, and when you are in such a slow tank, you really gotta choose where you want to go, and then you stick with it. When you say, okay, I'm going for the A site, you cannot just in the middle of going to the A site, when your friendly team, let's say, captures the A site, you can't just say, okay, I'm not going to the A site anymore. So in the standard Churchill fashion, I picked a point, and this match, it was the C point, and I decided to stick with it. Now, if you look at the minimap very quickly, you will see a few weird things. So firstly, most of our team is concentrated on the A point, like there's around 6 tanks in the town at the A point. The B point is completely vacant, there's nobody contesting it, either on our team or on the enemy team, and there's only 3 of us at C. And the first tank that I actually managed to spot is a Panzer IV G. Now, I angled my tank and I go to this rock to see if I can get a hull down position, and I managed to get the first shot off, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. It only kills one of his crew members and sets him on fire, which leaves him the opportunity to shoot back, and when he shots back, because I am nicely angled, he actually bounces, and basically now he's dead, because I can fire 2 shots for one of his shots, and it's basically just time battle to see who kills, I mean, not a time battle, let's just see how fast can I actually kill him. Now he's down to 1 crew member, I aim for his driver, I miss, and he decides to J out, because, well, that's the logical thing to do, even though the last man standing feature is still a thing, and he could have, in theory, fought me with only 1 crew member standing. There's not a lot of chance for him to survive, so he just J out, saves himself some time, so he can spawn in another tank. But, again, if we look at the minimap, Somehow, I just don't know what happened in the town at A point, but most of our team at the A point suddenly died, and the B point is getting captured, and the C point is captured by the enemy team. So, throwing all caution to the wind, even though the Churchill isn't the best thing, the best vehicle in the game to go capturing points, I decide to try and capture the C point, or at least support my friendly troops in capturing the C point while looking over to the B point. So in the first clip that I've showed you, you've seen me fighting a Tiger 1 and an M4A1, and now you might be thinking, why aren't there more Tigers in this matchup? Because I told you this is the same event, just with a different vehicle. Now, Gaijin did this thing, this is one of their few bright ideas in the past couple of months, that they limited the amount of top tier tanks in any given match, and it's basically the idea that first come first serve. So the first player that joins the match and chooses the top vehicle, if they have them equipped on their lineup, they will be able to spawn in them. And in this particular event there can only be 2 Tiger 1s. Is it 2? I think it's 2 Tiger 1s alive at any point in time. But anyhow, I was making my way towards C to flank around, and you'll hear in just a second something happening, the worst nightmare of every Churchill driver. Somebody's dropping bombs on me, and he missed. Yay, the Churchill manages to escape for the first time, and I'm making my way towards the C point again. And again, somebody drops bombs on me, but this time, nope. Again, the Churchill 1 is too fast for you to catch. The Churchill survives yet again. But now I see something very troubling. One of those Tiger 1s. He's not looking at me, so I aim at his turret, put one shot into him, and it does absolutely nothing. And at this point, I'm panicking, like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? He's turning his turret towards me. Aim at the side armor, aim at the side armor. And I pull the trigger, and oh my god, I killed him. I detonated his ammo rack. Believe it or not, this was the first time that I managed to detonate an ammo rack with this cannon. That is one of the luckiest things that has happened to me since I've started playing War Thunder. Jesus Christ, I managed to kill a Tiger 1 with a full crew by detonating his ammo rack with a measly 57mm cannon. And that's how I knew that Lady Luck has smiled upon me in this match, unlike the couple of last matches that I played. So I made my way quickly to the B point, well, as quickly as I can in this very slow tank. And now I'm going to encounter one of the most annoying things that can happen while you're in a Churchill. A tank that is actually flanking you, and another tank that is shooting your tracks off at the same time. But anyhow, we'll see that in just a second. So I'm close to the B point, and again, there's a couple of tanks on the A point. A friendly team has managed to capture the A point. This is going to be basically the configuration that we're going to end this match in. The A and the C point are going to be captured by us. But anyhow, a Panzer IV appears to the side. I put a shot at his turret, and now this bugger is going to be hiding behind that rock for quite a long time before he repairs. And this is what I was talking about. This is the annoying part of this whole situation. So I got a Panzer IV at the front, Panzer IV at the side, who knocks my track off. I flick a shot into him, and I managed to take out 3 of his crew members, which was very lucky for me. Another shot in manages to take out his horizontal drive thingy, and he can turn his turret. I try to finish him off, but I'm not having all that luck. I mean, that shot went almost straight into his gunner. And now this one ricocheted, and now this guy from the side is shooting at me. So I'm having to balance between 2 fires here, but luckily, again, I clutch a shot and I take out his horizontal turret drive, and now he can fire at me, and he's still hitting behind that rock. So while I am very lucky at this point in time, I'm kind of not lucky. And if you notice, just a few seconds ago, that guy that I was shooting at decided to J out, so I did get a kill there. But now it's going to be a very boring part of the video, because he's basically going to be hiding behind that rock while I try to repair my track so I can, I don't know, try and flank him. And then in the end, he's gonna get bombed. So we're just gonna skip through the part where he gets bombed out of the sky. So there, after my never-ending fight with that guy was over, I made my way very slowly towards the C point, because looky here, he's being capped again, because apparently I'm the only one on my team that's bothered to stay around the C point and defend it. So yeah, for the, 3rd time this match, I'm going back to the C point to try and defend it, and on my way I'm going to encounter some things. Now I don't want to spoil too much, but you will see in just a second. So again, I fast forward just a little bit because it takes a grueling amount of time to reach anywhere with this very slow tank. And I finally made my way into the C point, but in the meantime, the A point is being capped by the enemy. So yeah, my team is completely useless in this match. Well, we do actually win the match, spoiler alert. But you'll see. Anyhow, so I'm in the C point and I'm capping it. And I know there's gonna be somebody over there camping the C point, because somebody just did cap the C point just a few minutes ago, before it took me all the time to reach the actual C point. And I see what appears to be a Panzer IV lying behind those rocks over there while I'm trying to get in a defensive position. Now, this Panzer IV is a very lucky bastard, and I'm also lucky in this shot, because now, again, he shoots at me and he knocks out my tracks, and I start putting in return shots, and I managed to get his tracks, but the bastard just didn't keep on running and turned his tank outside, but somehow managed to get hidden behind that rock. So he is basically out of the picture now, but while I am focusing on him, I got flanked from the side, because again somebody is going to attack the C point, as you should do, while we managed to actually cap the A point. And now I'm basically kind of dead, or so I thought, but because there's a friendly aircraft who manages to bomb that guy out of the sky again, and now I'm thinking, okay, I got the C point, I only got one crew member left, so I may be able to defend the C point for a few more seconds until backup arrives, but yet it was not to be. I'm still looking towards that Panzer IV there to see if he may be there again and if I may be able to shoot at him, but it was not to be, because in just a second I'm gonna get shot from the back by a very unexpected visitor to this C point, because, well, who would have thought that the Tiger I would manage to actually flank around the whole river without being noticed. He manages to take me out and starts wreaking havoc around the C point, and at this point in time I'm thinking to myself, okay, I got some luck left in my lucky bucket, and am I gonna spawn in a Churchill, or am I gonna spawn in a Crusader Mk.III? And I decide to spawn in a Crusader Mk.III because this thing is so much faster than the Churchill that I might be able to get to the C point in time before this guy manages to cap it, and I'm gonna assume, at least I was assuming at that point in time, that he's gonna go and try and cross the river to our side, because I don't know, because it seemed like the logical thing to do at that point in time. So I decided to make my way again to the C point, because you can see that Tiger is capping the C point, and I decided to flank all the way around the side and maybe set up an ambush. Now, I did say that I dislike the Churchill Mk.III because it has a 57mm cannon, but these two cannons are slightly different. Although the Crusader Mk.III's cannon has slightly less penetration than the Churchill Mk.III's 57mm cannon, they're basically the same cannon, but just different version of the same cannon. This cannon is somewhat better, and I can't exactly put a finger on it. I don't know why it's better, but it is. It just feels a lot better. It takes out targets a lot more effectively, and it doesn't have that weird spread, especially in simulator battles where the spread and the way that the gun sights are positioned on the Churchill Mk.III. It's very hard to actually aim at anything that is at close range. It's basically a long-range vehicle, a long-range machine, and the accuracy at long range of the Crusader Mk.III, yes, is much better than of the Churchill Mk.III. So anyhow, I made my way over to the C point, to the flank of the C point, and I'm waiting behind that rock because I saw on the minimap that somebody was actually strafing that Tiger I, so I know he is around there, and I'm still waiting for him to see if he's gonna actually advance behind this rock. And I'm trying to abuse the third-person view here to see if I can look behind that rock, and I do notice this guy, and after pinging him on the map and saying Tiger, I go in for the kill. Now, my first shot actually doesn't do a whole lot. It does take one of his crew members out. Now I start putting shot after shot after shot in this guy, and it's gonna get very interesting now because he actually manages to survive a few of those shots, and he only got 2 crew members left in his tank. That is just enough for him to do this. So he decides to bomb rush me, which is the good idea to do. But the problem is now the Tiger I has got only 8mm of gun depression, and yes, I completely ignore the fact that I survived an 88mm shell, and because this is such a low tank and his turret ring is jammed, he cannot actually turn his turret, and he can shoot me in the turret. And while he's hugging me like this, there's no way he can do anything to me other than maybe damage my engine like he did just there. So I basically survived 2 shots from that guy while putting repeated shots into him. I managed to take out his track and basically lock him in place. He can't do much at this point in time. I put another side shot into him and I managed to kill one of his crew members, so he's down to 1 crew member, and then he basically just jays out while I'm trying to put in the last shot. He just rage quits, says, "Fuck this, I've been killed by Crusader Mk.III in a Tiger I." And that's basically how I got my second Tiger I kill in this match, and it really surprised me because Tiger 1s are very difficult to kill, especially with these little tanks that basically if he shot me from the front, he probably would have one-shotted me, and I was just very lucky that his gun depression is only 8 degrees and not, let's say, 10 degrees like most early German tanks have. So after I killed that Tiger 1, that is the last Tiger 1 on the enemy team, and basically the match is over for the enemy team because we have control of C point, we have control of A point, and the B point alone is not going to be able to ensure them to win this match. So I make my way over to the B point just to put the final nail in the coffin, and while I'm heading over there, I see a Panzer IV. Now I try to clutch my first shot, I completely miss, then I angled my armor. Yes, I angled my armor in the light tank. The second shot that I connect kills 3 of his crew members and set him on fire. Now this is where the RNG kicks in, because I just keep putting shot after shot at this guy and I can't actually make him stop living. I can't kill him. He manages to put a return shot in me after I put 4 shots into him. But again, luckily for me, since he's down to 2 crew members, the reload is awfully long and I got a very fast firing cannon, so I managed to take him out for my 5th kill in this match. But again, I get kind of ambushed by the Panzer III on the side, and again I get kind of lucky. The RNG kicks in, he misses the shot, first shot he fired, he misses. I put a shot into him and I set him on fire. He misses his second shot and only takes out my engine, and at this point in time I'm basically going to out-reload him because I got all of my crew members kind of alive, well only 2 of them, and I get the kill. I get my 6th kill in this match, and this is basically the end of this match. A very interesting match, I gotta say, very lucky on my part. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. My name has been Soulfax and I will see you next time.